Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Nocturne Jungle because, well, he's not been very popular lately, and honestly he has moments when he can be good. You know, basically he goes between a ballistic missile with a huge targeting system and a flying pigeon who splatters against a windshield and does nothing. How he is depends on Riot's balance team, but also itemization and the general meta. So, because we're against a Kindred, we have decided to slap a juicy ward over there while we go red to Krugs, most likely into Raptors. The Kindred will be the flex clear here. Does the Kindred go red, Raptors, Grump, L bot lane, so that we have full domination of the top side? Or does the Kindred do maybe a red, Raptors, Krugs, gank top lane to kind of get ahead of the Nocturne? Only time will tell from our perspective. Runes you would have seen, lethal tempo, mega fistings, mega damage. Honestly, Nocturne should have been the one to get the rework over Skarner, because literally no one gives a flying crap about Skarner. But everyone kind of plays Nocturne when he's strong, right? He has more meta viability and a higher pick rate. So I think that would have been a better flex. But you know what? Whatever jungler you play, whatever you want to know about jungling, whatever you want to understand about jungling and how to amplify your laner sort of cohesion, the Ghosted Bootcamp starts in 1 week. Remember, there's a $400 coaching giveaway to some lucky participant of that bootcamp. Myself and Coach Kaiba giving you a full rounded jungle and laner symposium over 2 weeks. All the knowledge you will need to go do things. In the meantime, of course, we have the Kindred doing as I suggested. I have not seen this game. This is basically, this is literally the first time I just saw good KDA, figured, hey, why not? We are actually doing exactly what the Kindred, we responded to what the Kindred did, but the Kindred did it to get ahead of the Nocturne's tempo. While Kindred can kind of go boom, boom, you know, and try something bot lane and fall back to this, the Kindred really wants to get in the face of enemy junglers and suppress them greatly. Now, because we did this classic clear here, right, this mark actually spawns very hilariously onto the Grump because we were able to secure that first mark early. So a nice little hack by the Kindred to get a mark and to get the Grump here. In theory, we could actually see this invade through should the Nocturne be low enough. Now, if you kill the Nocturne or he's low that he has to base, this is typically quite a free moment for you. However, when it doesn't work out, you're obviously screwing yourself out of a guaranteed mark in one of these crabs. So he's taking that now. We've got 45 seconds until the next one. The Kindred most likely should leave these alone, right? Just chilling here, should leave that scuttle alone so that it can reset on the bottom side guaranteed, while the Nocturne is going to go top lane and dive the Nasus. We also have here the Rumble joining from the mid lane. Nice rotation here, free little bit of a dive, and we will die. And that's a little sad. Could have waited for the Rumble, but the Rumble's like, guys, I invested this time. Why didn't you just wait a microsecond for your favorite hamster to show up? They didn't do that. So obviously here we've done boom, boom, boom into the top side. You see the Kindred make this play while I'm giving my spiel about the bootcamp next week, and then he reacts and of course deals with the play. The Kindred in the meantime will now obviously get this free mark, but because Nocturne died, we know that he's going to be coming down for second spawn Krugs, circa 417, 420-ish, and then obviously this will be around your 435 to 445 range, and we see the Rumble clearing this ward, so we know the Kindred's gonna go here after doing this. That's pretty obvious. We see the little kill here on the vision. This should be seen by everybody involved, but it isn't. This should be pinged out by the Nocturne, but it isn't. This should be known by the Rumble, but it isn't, and that should be a free little E-proc execution kill by Freddy Fandango. And now the Nocturne's basically saying, well, guess I just kill these Raptors and hold the mid lane. Now you see the pings come through from laners in this particular situation. It's like, well, I understand you want me to hold this immediately, but otherwise you're gonna, I mean, it compromises my sequencing if I was to leave the Raptors, if I were to leave the Raptors, hold this and then go back to the Raptors and go up. It's better just to finish the Raptor camp, hold what I can, because I still get the proximal experience drain because I'm right over the wall here, right? And then of course now I can go to the top side. Now, what we do have to factor in is because we died topside, Kindred will have known that we died after doing Grump and didn't do the Wolves, didn't do the blue, okay? Because we did the Wolves obviously because we reacted to the clear. But when we show top lane here with only +4 more CS since the last time the Kindred saw us with a blue buff, the Kindred knows that that blue is available, so it can kind of project and track where you're going. And we know the Kindred's going to have tier 2 Raptors, tier 2 Krugs and tier 2 Raptors on this side. The Nocturne knows it's warded. The Nocturne knows that they know it's warded, and the Nocturne knows that the Kindred's going to be showing up. So the Nasus is like, how safe should I play this? And of course plays it very, very safely, as you should as a top lane when you're tracking this kind of stuff as well. We also know that this is now a mark here because both crabs are down and Raptors were snacked. So the Kindred, what are they doing and where are they going? This is the big question. They could just go down the bottom side and do the dragon. The idea here is that we kind of snack with the tier 2 Krugs, but the Kindred having all of this extra gold cash money to spend and they come down to the bottom side, knowing that the Nocturne's going top side, knowing that the Rumble's going top side, allows them to do a 4v2 dive on the bottom lane, and yeah. The Nocturne in the meantime gets the Krugs, obviously. The Nasus has to back off, has burned his ultimate. We have the Reds respawning. The Kindred knows this, probably can flex into this. It's such an interesting mind game when you play against the Kindred as, say, a Nocturne, as a farming jungler. Let me just check this here. Yeah, as a farming jungler, because sometimes I don't know what's going on. Things are cutting out and not recording, so hopefully everything's recording. It's very interesting when you're a farming jungler or someone who wants to scale up to 6, and you're against a Kindred, and they kind of make these plays that force you a little bit out of your comfort zone. So I'm really glad that I suggested at the beginning that one of the possible plays was to do this to get ahead. Yeah, the Nocturne cuts and kills the Nasus. Yeah, the Nasus then dies again to the Kindred. And yeah, we have the Kindred here obviously stealing the red. But we just leave this up because we know it's going to respawn onto something else if we take it. So we just leave it there, let it run its full duration. We'll take the Raptor camp here. There's no scuttle on the map. There's nothing it can spawn on at the moment. So this is a great way to kind of deny and control the Kindred marks as well. Anticipation is that it's warded. We have the ping. We see the ping. Cool. We know it is. Thus, we take safe routes. On the Virkayu coaching channel, just uploaded a gold fiddlesticks. Also similar farming cadence, right? We do have our 6 here, though. Let me cut that short because once you have your ultimate, you must use the ultimate. You must burn your flashes, but you have to be cautious because it's Karma, because it's Xayah. We do get the fear through. Anyway, the auto attack will keep us going. The attack range bonus from Lethal Tempo gives you chase down potential. And obviously, if you hit your Q and time your spell shield. Yeah. It's not a very difficult champion. You know, the interesting thing about Nocturne is knowing how far you can run and push with this rune. Lethal Tempo rune is not letting me highlight it. You could go Conqueror, obviously, as well, but most people just like the kind of, hey, I've got my Q, I can chase you down, I've got the bonus attack range, I've got the bonus capped attack speed, and I can just keep that up. And obviously, once you have Stride Breaker as well, now you can stick to them even more so. And the bonus AD, while it's nice, the healing doesn't really do anything, so we might as well just amplify our DPS, right? Does definitely work against certain champions, especially Kindreds. We have here the Kindred going for the Raptor, the Herald, what's that called? All the names are confused today. The Rumble's like, hey, can I get on this? The Kled hits the eyeball right in that G-spot, manages to secure it. The Nocturnes are rotating straight from base here, hits his Q, is going for the split indirect focus there because he wants to make sure he gets both kills, and obviously the Lissandra goes eeing across the map, so we don't quite get as much, but with 3-1-1, this is a great way to showcase how it's possible to navigate games where you're against an aggressive jungler who might force you to be outside of your comfort zone. Like, normally in low lows, you can farm as Nocturne, you look for a gank, you get a crab, you go back to base, you can farm again, you can definitely fight someone, certain champions if you want. You know, we do another sequence, maybe we get an RNG scuttle, maybe counter gank, and then you're bot lane. And it's quite a relaxing, you know, lifestyle. And no one really punishes you, but what's the best counter to a Nocturne? Stifle level 6 first. Then, when he does use level 6, be there to counter gank. Kindred didn't see that tracking through to fruition, chose to say, look, I'm sacrificing my bot lane because we already got the dragon, so I can get the Herald. And obviously the Nocturne has helped create prio in top and mid through his early reactions, through his early dive, and obviously Rumble is Rumble. And Kindred went with Lissandra, there we go, Lissandra, to the bottom tower to hit that one. Now we have the Kindred in the top lane saying, look, I better correct this top lane because it's looking a little bit not so good, even though the Nasus is now 4-3-1, right? So you'd think, well, the Cloud's super far ahead. Okay, what I was saying kind of ran over, so we're going to just rewind a second here. We have the dive going forward. You need to play what is, not what should be, because as I said, the Nasus is more fed than we thought. And, you know, you might think, okay, look, the Cloud should be ahead based upon the lead. I don't know. Apparently, I don't know anything, because I was not entirely sure that's exactly how that was going to go, but the horrific greed and tower aggro by the Kindred and the Nasus, I mean, we had our ult as well, like, we just died. The Nocturne just saved that ultimate to the last moment to really fisted to the Kindred, did not expect the damage at all, I guarantee it, and just died. So, perfect tower hold. Remember, if you're going to choose to hold those kind of scenarios, you have to know your champion. It's very easy to kind of break it down 0.25 speed and say, look, they use this spell here, they use this spell there, and this Nocturne is a genius. But, you know, if I'm Ornn or Zyra, I'm very, very comfortable holding towers in those situations. Obviously, I know my kit, and I know what to wait for and when to use my abilities, as most of you will know on your champions, right? So if you're a Nocturne player or something like that, you've got to know those scenarios, but also if you're Kindred, you anticipate the ultimate, my friends. Now we have the mark on the Raptors. We've decided to go the 3-quadrant flow. I don't exactly know what's going on here. We have the Karma rotating from the bot lane. Obviously, our bot lane is not exactly in the best situation here. And the Zai starting to snowball faster. And obviously, they want to go get this Raptor camp. But the Kindred's like, hey, why would I get the Raptor camp when I can try and kill the bottom lane, even though no, everyone's here? I'm going to go in here and try and kill the Zeri. Gets feared, goes berserk. The ult doesn't do anything. We're going to turn onto the Zai now. The Kindred absolutely turbo astro throwing every possible advantage they had there. I love Rel when she's on your team. Sorry, Rel. I wish Rel was on my team more often. I love Renata when she's on your team. Good grief. Crabs are heralds and Renata is Rel. I don't know what's going on tonight. All crosswires everywhere. But you understand what I'm saying. This was the Kindred's team looking to make plays here. Instead, the Kindred's like greeting for the Zeri, greeting for this here. It's so common to see Kindreds do that when they're lower elo. It's not that common to see Kindreds do that in this elo. And the Nocturne, bless his evil soul, is actually playing perfectly around it, right? He's playing perfectly around it because you can't just run at a Kindred into the jungle when you don't have prio. You cannot run and fight them in the river when you don't have prio. And because they chose to focus bottom side here, what we did was we said, look, let's go for the wolves. Let's shadow down here. You know, maybe we can sequence this and loop around here and do something. But hey, that is a throw of huge proportions. Unfortunately for us, our team had to like kind of, you know, die or be low and go back to base. So we're not going to get this and Kindred will snack that. So we can just go straight to the top side again. Now we can look to maybe do something about the Kled here. And the Nasus is looking quite juicy, actually. 5.1 to 4.2. I mean, that's a 900 goal swing. Definitely didn't look like it was going to go their way early, but hey, I mean, what can you expect from your top laners? You help them, you gank them, they lose anyway, and then they complain. Ulting in. We're going, you see where we go for the Fear Tether here to try and keep it going with the E, but unfortunately, that was the most delayed reaction spell sheet I've ever seen in my life. You will not stun me today. And then presses it. Kled rotates from the top lane. Here we go. We're going to get the chain CC. We will get the snacking kill. Very, very nice. Double buffs, obviously. Q is available. We hit. That was a snipe. Very good snipe from the Nocturne. Carry the game 9-1-2. This Strikebreaker doing good work as well. Ultimate up and again in 73 seconds. And now we could go look for this and go for some hyper-aggressive invading. But again, our team is not in a position to really allow it, which sucks because this is what you want to do, right? We talked about this on the coaching channel with the Belveth. You want to go in for these aggressive invades to just full on deny the enemy jungle now. Loop back around and kill this. Here we go, top side. Let's see if we can fight the Nasus. He learns very quickly that that tower dive was an aberration and that now the Kayn does stuff. So what do we add actually? Let's have a cheeky observation. 210 by 14. Okay. I mean, okay. But still, a lot of damage. Also remember, E kind of shreds your resistances, so if you sit in it and then get bonked, I mean, you're like asking for your own demise, I suppose. We do have the grub marked up here. We should probably snack that away. But we see the Kindred. Did you see? I looked at it on the map. We saw the Kindred go over the wall there. Thinks maybe I can cancel the base. What the hell am I watching here? This is an aggressive jungler who made a few mistakes. The Nocturne who played it perfectly to counter gank and counter position. And now they're tilted. Gotta clap. Because it's good to see a farming map control jungler with a devastating level 6 just absolutely thwart a Kindred. His Kindreds, for some reason, when they're behind, they don't do it with grace. Have you guys noticed this? Kindreds can scale, Kindreds can play with grace, Kindreds can always make the comeback, but they just never damn well do they. I coached someone, actually, who's Platinum Kindred player, and it's hilarious that he was such a win condition Kindred. He would lose every early game. I think I've mentioned this before, but he would lose every early game. And he's trying to get Diamond. It's like, well, you know, seeing as you win all of these games anyway, because he would lose and then just play win con, get fed, get 3-4 items, and just do the things that Kindred does. I was like, imagine if we fix your early game. So that's what we focused on. But it's really funny to watch Kindreds who are trying to play like Kindred have no grace in terms of how to kind of, oh yeah, look, I gotta ease up here a second and play like an intelligent person. No, they just play super aggressive all the time. I think we're getting to the point where Kindred's so strong that they're kind of forgetting that they also can't be 2 levels down against other junglers, you know, especially with CC. Yeah. But anyway, this was a little hoppity hit. We saw them on this. You can go back and slow down. I caught my eye. That's why I looked at the map. You'll see I looked at the map here. I was like, is the Nocturne going to stay, go for it, or is he just going to kind of bait it out? And of course, excellent bait. Now we're shadowing the Rumble. Our ultimate is up. We will lose that Juicy Herald. Obviously, we'll clear this vision. We're still up 2 levels here. Let's have a look here. We finished it. I like the Swifties though. Right? What do you guys think about the Swifties? For rotational power. I really like Swifties against teams with a lot of slows. Nasus, Kindred specifically here. Yes, they have a lot of stuns, but we can use a spell shield for stuns. So the Swifties gives us base movement speed all the time, whenever we need it. Let's go up to the blue here. Let's have a look at mid lane. Okay. Nocturne is on the blue side. The Rumble, that's Rumble, is on the bottom side. We have a bit of a lull in the action. Shall we just jump ahead just to see what's going to go on? Ah, here we go. We jumped too far forward. We jumped too far forward. Back, okay. So we do the blue, we do the Grump, and now we're going to go and use our ultimate on the mid lane. We're waiting for some action. The Kled is rotating down as well. Watch the Nasus, watch the Kled. Here we go. Ulting onto the Zai, who's most likely going to Gale Force, and then ult is not necessarily the best target. Maybe we trigger pull too soon, but fortunately our whole team plays and collapses around us. The TB is coming forward here. We need to now disengage a little bit because we need to watch the stuns from the Lissandra. We get the Kled chain CC onto the Lissandra's forced to ult herself. Kindred ults her anyway, so we get the double ult proc there. Now they don't have either of those ultimates. We want to hit the target in front of us. Kindred is just chasing. Nocturne in the backline there is just chucking Qs. Aziri's trying to respace. Ziri dies finally. Nocturne's super low here. Uh-oh. Use your Q to movement speed. Kindred's not taking the Raptors. They're not taking this tower. Man, that was a very intense fight. Lissandra over the wall. Kindred in the backline here. Nocturne's gone back to base. They kill the Renata. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. This did not go the way I was thinking. You know, and that's the thing. I didn't think it was going to go this way. Because the Nocturne just ulted someone who you should probably not ult. And your target selection and your good fight selection with Nocturne is so important. If you do not ult the right target, and they have dashes and spells that make them immune to CC, you're just useless. And you're not tanky enough to go straight to backline. But now they've overstayed like it's a gold game. So we're basically gonna... Well, 3 ult. Whoa. Yes, sir. We actually went on the... Where are we going on? We're going on the Nasus. We Q sideways to hit onto the Karma. Oh, I thought for a second maybe he got the ult off onto the Kindred. Might have been better just to wait a little bit. Can just go straight for this dragon. But we definitely want this dragon, so let's go for it. They all have to reset now. Man, that was close. Let's quickly do this. Yeah. We quickly do this. Warded. We know that people will rotate as necessary. We can snack this up very, very quickly. This is good here. And then, of course, now we can loop back down to the Krugs into the red, or we can go back to the middle and look for a fight. I was going to loop back down here just to kind of shadow any collapses, but we'll go right into Krugs as well in case we want to shadow the Kled, or we could just skip the Krugs entirely and go to the top side because we anticipate the second Herald be a target. Yeah. There you go. Rumble versus Lissandra, burn damage versus ignite, ult versus death, and death wins this one. So the Kindred somehow gets back into it, but it's largely just really terrible positioning. How's a Nocturne gonna carry this game? This is interesting actually. There we have the Kled flanking from the side, of course, and we ult in onto the target. So that's it. Nice little double vortex for suck. Make sure that person gets annihilated. We know the Kindred was around here. Should we go for a little probing? Yes, we can. We're going to hit that Q, get the movement speed proc. We obviously have Stride Breaker active. We don't use it. We do use it actually at the end there, which maybe we could have used it up front, but that's fine. We get the Fear Tether. The Karma flashes out. The Kindred lives. The Karma dies. There we go. Wow. Trigger pulls, huh? You see this. It's very, very quick. Like, I'm trying to talk quickly here and stumbling all over myself because I just sing a target pouncing, sing a target pouncing, sing a target pouncing. The Kled and the Nocturne are just really recognizing, hey, listen, you know, we need to go. Like, we need to make these picks as soon as they're out of position because the Nasus is getting kind of juicy. The Kindred will always be good, and late game Zaya is, right? So we need to make sure we can kind of use the lead we have at the moment. And I love the Chain Vest into the stopwatch here purely because we have enough damage to kill, but the randomness of the Zaya, the Kindred, and the Nasus could allow us to die. So the stopwatch and the armor will help us a little bit because we don't have resist boots this game. So now with Shadow, we're just going to say, look, I'm 13, you're 13. The Rumble hits his burn damage slow as well. Look at the damage from the Rumble and the Nocturne together. The Q gives us the ability to stack. The Wither does not do nearly anything compared to someone who doesn't have Swifty, so that specific slow resist, super effective, and that's a free dead Nasus. I mean, if you ever wondered what was going on, they're trying to do this here, actually. Let's see if they get away with this Baron. It is obviously, just like the other day, back line here, make sure we hit everything. Free steal. Free steal. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Excellent rotation, excellent team fight. That was so smooth, so clinical, so effortless. You cannot rush a Baron at 21 minutes when you don't have the damage as a team and the enemy jungler can just rotate. We had another game, was it the Fiddle? It was the Fiddle game, right? The Fiddle did the exact same damn thing. They just made the pick and then ran straight up here. Had the ult, had the rockabelt, had the flash. Didn't have rockabelt that game, but had everything. Oh man, like you've got to know that if they show bot lane 2 against a split push 2v1, and it's 21, 22 minutes, and they still have 3 topside, do you really have the damage profile to burn that sucker down? Because the jungle is going to be getting so low, especially when your jungle is down 2-3 levels. Like in this situation, you're asking a lot in terms of combo damage with the smite and the fight that's going to happen. So it's really a highly risky call to do. Not one I like to make unless I'm specifically... Ooh, they see the wolf there? The wolf is probably going to go on the Zeri. Let's have a look to see if the wolf can do anything. There we go. We're going to get the slow. We're going to reposition. Yeah. Well, the Kindred is probably the most chicken Kindred I've seen in a while. I mean, that was a little bit of a free kill, but hey, if you want to give assist to the Nasus, we'll do so. But really, guys, if you're going to kill the split push in the bottom lane, and Baron's available, you have to know that either I'm going to rotate or we're willingly giving it up because we can push hard as hell into an inhib. In this case, this is still up, this is still up, this is... No, actually, that's not up. I mean, but this is full HP. This is full HP. The wave is here. You are not going to get anything in exchange. So it's really a case of I'm Nocturne. I know I can do this, and I know I've ult for that Baron, right? So that's the collective decision of the team, but also the Nocturne's combined neurons in his head to say I can do this. The Nocturne's just going to ult for Darkness, basically get Renated, but the GA does work. See the GA there? They said, we hate the Nocturne, we hate him. And then they focused him and forced him to die. But he used a stopwatch item called this Guardian Angel. There we go, we got there eventually. Keep your spacing. We have Smite, we have Fiat Tether as well. Reposition, make sure they can't take the plan to escape. Beautifully done. Beautiful engage, beautiful counter engage, beautiful spacing. This has been a very good Nocturne game. This has been a very good Nocturne game. Apologies for the stumbles, as I said, it has been a bad baby day or two, so we're a bit frazzled and dazzled. The words are all mixing up. Eventually I'm just going to start saying Romanian things or German things or something, so if I do, I apologize. But hey, this is a very good example of, hey, we're against an aggressive jungler. What can we do to anticipate and react to their game plan to basically shut it down? How can we play as safe as possible? We have one death here, which of course we saw, and we made a lot of quick turns on the Kindred, who played over-aggressive and disrespectfully, honestly, to what the Nocturne can bring to the table. Because as I said, he's either a very strong weapon that flies through the air, or he's a pigeon, you know? That's how it works sometimes. We're going here for the second Ocean Dragon. Are they just going to coin flip a 50-50? Are they really? Yes, you are not confused, my friends. This is a gameplay high elo channel analysis. This is not the coaching channel analysis, where we would expect junglers to not give up dragons when they should just be pushing out waves, pushing and taking all other things on the map. Instead, they walked to a dragon they knew was warded against a Nocturne Rumble. Yeah, so that was what we call mental difference. Mr. Fandango did not see through the finish of his strongest beginning, and the Nocturne basically said, well, smurfed it, baby. Don't forget, bootcamp 1 week to go. Sign up, links below. Zada GG Live Companion Guides, links below. Coaching portal with courses coming up for pre-order. I'll be making those very, very shortly, so you can get your special 20% discount if you sign up to the emailing list, which gives you free tips weekly, infographic tier lists, and a jungle improvement PDF coming very, very soon. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, and comment if you enjoyed or learned something. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial. And to start off for Season 13, I will be hosting another bootcamp with Coach Kybert for laners and junglers and for every single role. Topics on your screen now starts end of January 30th. Basically, we're going to be covering everything in this video in depth related to you, giving you some active examples, some drills, everything to make you a better League of Legends player as a whole, all through a really in-depth 2-week bootcamp from January 30th onward. And additionally, I will be raffling off a $400 coaching package to a lucky winner who subscribes in the first 100 tickets, which means a further 4 hours of coaching directly with me, all free for you after the bootcamp is finished. And overall, the bootcamp is just chocked full of absolute free coaching, free VOD reviews, Q&As. We have 10 different sessions for you from myself and Coach Kybert. We have other challenger coaches on call. Essentially, you're looking at something like 30 coaching sessions for the price of 1, all within a community hosted by Gosu Academy. So click the link in the description below, sign up, join the Discord, and I will see you all there to learn everything you need to know about Season 13 jungling and laning so that you can climb to your ranked goals and beyond.